Welcome to Good Morning Yoga Stretch. You can start in a comfortable seated position on your mat. And if you'd like, you can gently close your eyes and just start to breathe. Maybe placing your hands on your abdomen just to feel your abdomen expand as you inhale and collapse as you exhale. Maybe counting to 4 as you inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And counting to 4 as you exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just doing a few rounds of breath here on your own. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes, placing your hands on top of your legs, finding some neck rolls in one direction. Maybe big neck rolls, maybe small, stopping wherever it might feel good, like you need a little bit extra stretch. And then circling in the other direction. Then bringing your neck back to a neutral position, circling out your wrists in one direction. And then the other direction. And then finding a straddle position with your legs, extending your legs wide onto your mat. Keeping your toes flexed so they're pointed towards you. And then as you inhale, lengthen through your spine. And as you exhale, starting to reach towards one toe and finding a side stretch on the opposite side. Maybe looking out underneath your armpit, up at the side wall or the ceiling. And as you inhale, lengthen through your spine. And exhale, maybe stretching a little bit deeper. And next, inhale, slowly come up. And as you exhale, stretching towards the opposite toe, bringing your opposite hand over your head, looking up underneath your armpit. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. And exhale, stretching a little bit further. And next, inhale, slowly coming back up. And then bringing your legs together in front of you. Bringing one leg in towards your chest, kind of cradling your leg back and forth, opening up your hip a little bit. And then when you're ready, crossing that foot over onto the other side of your leg. And we'll be going into a twist here, so option to keep that one leg extended with your toes flexed, or option to take that leg and cross it underneath the opposite hip bone. Then as you inhale, lengthen through your spine. And exhale, twisting towards the direction of the leg that's crossed over on top. Opposite or other hand behind your spine. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. And exhale, twisting a little bit more. No need to push yourself. Might be a little more stiff in the morning. And next, inhale, slowly coming back to center. And extending both legs. And then cradling the opposite leg into your chest, rocking it side to side a few times. And when you're ready, crossing it over onto the other side, either keeping that leg extended or tucking that heel underneath that opposite hip. And as you inhale, lengthen. And exhale, twisting towards the opposite side, opposite hand behind your spine, helping you stabilize. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, twisting a little more. And next inhale, slowly coming back to center. And then sweeping your legs behind you and moving yourself onto your stomach, laying all the way down onto your mat with your elbows underneath your shoulders, going into a Sphinx position. Legs about hip width apart. And then as you inhale, lengthen through your spine, opening up through your chest, all the way to the top of the crown of your head. Option to stay in Sphinx, or if you'd like, pressing into your hands, lifting your elbows off of the mat, going into Seal. And just taking a few breaths wherever you are. And exhale, releasing back down to the mat. And then keeping your right elbow where it is, rolling over onto your right side. So your body's in a line, lined up with your right elbow. Stabilizing yourself with your arm in front of you into side Seal here. Either staying here or pressing into the palm of your hand, lifting up from your elbow, feeling a side stretch in your side body. And next, exhale, slowly release yourself back down to the mat, placing your left elbow underneath your shoulder, and then rolling over onto your left side, finding side Seal on the opposite side, and maybe pressing into that hand, lifting up off of your elbow, and breathing here. And exhale, slowly release back down to the mat. And then walking your hands up underneath your shoulders, finding your way to a tabletop position. Knees underneath hips, wrists underneath shoulders, legs about hip width apart. And then as you inhale, dropping your belly to the mat, bringing your gaze up, squeezing your shoulder blades together. And then as you exhale, arching your back and bringing your gaze towards your belly button. And finding a few rounds of cat-cow on your own here. And when you're ready, coming back to a neutral tabletop position and extending your left leg out to the side, pressing into the outer edge of the foot. And as you inhale, lifting your left hand up towards the ceiling, maybe bringing your gaze up towards that hand. Option to keep that hand up high or bring it behind your back and placing it into your right hip crease for a bind. And taking a few breaths here. And if you found the bind, next inhale, lifting that hand up to the ceiling, and exhale, dropping it back towards the mat. And then as you bring your left foot back in, sweeping it behind your right leg, finding a little side stretch on the left side of your body, pointing that toe behind you, bringing your gaze towards that foot, and taking a few breaths here. And next, inhale, slowly bringing that leg back into your tabletop position. And when you're ready, extending your right leg out to the side. Inhale, lifting your right hand up high towards the ceiling, either staying here or wrapping that hand behind your back and into your left hip crease for a bind. And a few breaths wherever you are. And if you found the bind on your next inhale, lifting that hand back up towards the ceiling. And everyone exhaling that hand back down towards the mat. And then sweeping your right leg behind your left, pointing your toe, bringing your gaze towards that foot, and breathing here. Next, inhale, slowly bringing that leg back to your tabletop position. And we'll get ready to set up for down dog. So stepping your hands forward one time, tucking your toes, and then lifting your hips up high. Maybe keeping your knees bent at first, stepping out your heels towards the mat one at a time. And then inhale, lifting your heels up off the mat. And exhale, dropping your heels towards the right side. Maybe feeling a stretch in your calves and hamstrings. Next, inhale, lifting your heels up high, going onto your tippy toes. And exhale, dropping your heels down towards the left. And a few breaths here. Next, inhale, coming up onto your tippy toes, and exhale, dropping your heels down towards the outside edges of the mat, so your toes are pointed inwards. And a few breaths here. And next, inhale, lifting your heels up, and exhale, dropping them back down into your typical down dog position. Next, inhale, looking in between your hands, stepping your right foot in between, then dropping that left knee down into a low lunge. And as you inhale, coming up with a straight spine, maybe just keeping your hands on your hips here, or option to clasp your hands behind your back and open up through your chest slightly. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. And exhale, maybe opening up through your chest a little bit more. And next, exhale, releasing your hands back down to the mat around your foot and stepping back into your down dog. Inhale, looking in between your hands, stepping your left foot in between your hands, dropping down your right knee, coming into your low lunge again. Option to clasp your hands behind your back. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. And exhale, opening up through your chest. And exhale, releasing your hands back down to the mat and stepping back into your down dog position. Inhale, looking in between your hands, walking both feet in between them, and then slowly lowering yourself down into a seated position with your knees bent, feet flat on the floor, bringing your arms out to the side, keeping your core engaged as you slowly lower down vertebrae by vertebrae all the way onto your mat. And then finding our last pose, legs up the wall position, lifting your legs up high as if they are up against a wall, pointing your toes towards you as much as you can. And if you'd like to make this position a little bit more active, lifting your hands up towards the ceiling, pressing your palms facing the ceiling, and breathing here. And next, exhale, slowly lower all of your limbs to the mat, spreading out your arms and legs wide. Option to gently close your eyes for Savasana. And just breathing here. Maybe noticing your breath or any sensations or changes in your body. And then staying in Savasana as long as you'd like to start your morning. I hope you all have a good day. Thank you for joining.